What is this statement? What are you expected as an applicant to write about, to talk about, and how important is this document? Today, I'm going to be talking about the diversity, the equity, and the inclusion statement. In graduate school, you are sometimes expected to write different kinds of statements, and one of them includes the diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. It's also called the DEI or the EDI. Now, the DEI statement is a statement you write as an applicant to tell the university or to show your commitment to excellence by fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. What do I mean? It is true that in a university, especially in different countries, there are international students. There are students from different backgrounds, different religion. There is the identity thing. There is also students, like we have students who are from a different race, black, white, name it, especially in the United States. Topics about diversity, equity, inclusion is a big deal. So the university wants to know if they are to allow you come into the university, how committed are you to these issues, to these conversations, because it is a conversation you will definitely meet. Imagine a Nigerian coming into America and you think you will not meet different people, or you think that you will be the only international student. No. The university wants to understand how your mind is shaped by these things. How do you want to work with people who are not the same as you? Now, I know that in Nigeria, you may have not encountered any international person per se, but in Nigeria, you or any part of the world actually, you would have encountered people who have different religion. You would have encountered people who have different academic background as you, who have different family background, who have different economic status. So they are not all in the same place as you are at every point in time. And so, how have you related with these people? This is like one way you can show in your DEI statement the things that you have done, your commitment to diversity, how you can accommodate, and how you can even live with people who are not speaking the same language as you are. But before I go in, let's talk about what this statement should look like. It's usually a one-page document. The diversity, equity, and inclusion statement is usually one page. University can sometimes even give you instructions on what exactly they want to see. And so if you have an instruction, just go straight to the point, following that instruction and write exactly what they have asked you to write. If they have not given you an instruction and they just talk about diversity, then you can get creative at this point. Also, the DEI statement is usually one page long, 300 words, 500 words, maximum of 700 words. Universities will likely tell you how many words that they want you to write. Or if they did not tell you, best to leave it at 500 maximum. Now, what should be contained is in this DEI document. What are the things you want to write? What are the things you want to write to tell them I have had experiences working with different people, even though it's the same country, but I have had experiences working with people who are maybe doing a different job than I am, who have a different language, who have a different religion. And the good thing about it is Nigeria is multicultural, Nigeria is multilingual. So you can draw examples from anywhere in your daily lived experiences. All right. The first thing you want to do is you need to show an awareness of what diversity is all about, or what equity is all about, what inclusion is all about, what is it all about. You need to show this awareness. And one way you can show this awareness is simply by mentioning the fact that Nigeria or any country where you are from is multicultural. I'm from Nigeria, so Nigeria is multicultural. We have different languages in Nigeria. That is one way I can just show awareness. I can show awareness by saying that I went to a university with students who are from a different ethnic background, who are from a different ethnic group, who speak a different language, who have different cultures than where I am coming from. That is showing awareness. Now, you can talk about the diversity, the equity, and the inclusion statement in different settings. You can talk about it as a student. You can talk about it as a staff of a company. Let's say you worked before you want to go into graduate school. You can talk about it based on your working experience. You can talk about it like you have a family. You can talk about it based on your experiences in your family. If you have an extended family of different, maybe your cousin married someone that's from a different language or different tribe, you can talk about it on different levels. But the thing about it is, whatever you want to talk about, make sure you are consistent with that line. So, because unlike your personal statements, you don't really need to touch different aspects, just need to stay on one particular example that you're talking about. Now, for example, let's say that I want to talk about it as a teacher. Let's say I was a lecturer before or a classroom teacher before wanting to apply to graduate school. You can start by saying that you are aware of the diverse students that you have in your class. The students are, you can just say you have students from the major ethnic groups in Nigeria, or you have students from over that cuts across different tribes. And also mention that some of these children have parents who intermarried. So it just to show that awareness. The first example is showing awareness. And then you can talk about some of the challenges that you understand that are being faced. So after talking about the awareness, you can talk about the challenges. For example, if you are, let's say, a teacher or a lecturer to students who are teens, adults, or undergraduates, you can say that you are aware that a lot of people speak their local dialects, and this already is an issue because someone else may not understand that language. Or you talk about religion, we have different religions in Nigeria, how that one person's perception of their religion may be different from another person's perception of that religion. So it's a good way of talking about it. As much as we don't have the larger scope of the international world, we know that we have one that is innate to us in our country. So we find it as little as it can be, find it and talk about it expressly. The second thing that you want to do is to talk about your efforts, what you have done in such a situation. Remember that you showed awareness, and so the awareness that you showed, you also created a problem from that awareness. So you are aware that Nigeria is multilingual, you're aware that South Africa is multilingual, you are aware that India is multilingual, right? But then you create a problem from that awareness and you say that these different languages could cause misunderstandings. These misunderstandings could have ripple effects, stuff like that. Whatever the problem you want to create, then you then talk about your efforts towards that or towards creating a solution for that problem. What do I mean? You can say that you have done mentoring, you've tried to do coaching, counseling services, outreaches to those in the rural areas who maybe do not speak English. So you can even talk about your local dialect versus English. Or you can talk about local dialect versus local dialects if you're talking about language. You can talk about Christianity versus other religion. You can talk about other religions. So, look for what works for you and focus on that. Now, you're talking about what efforts you have done, past efforts you have done to contribute or to provide a solution to that problem that you talked about in the first paragraph. This is where you sell yourself. It doesn't have to be so big. It can be something as simple as counseling session. You worked hand in hand with the counselor of the school. You understand already because of maybe your culture. So let's say you have parents who come from different backgrounds. You can even use that as a way to say that because you have this understanding based on that, now you are able to, when relating with other people, you're able to relate with them with this understanding. You are even able to prefer advice, to coach, to mentor, different things. Just find one thing that you have done in the time past that works for you. And the final paragraph should be your future plans. What do you plan to do further? Because, of course, Diversity always come up. Issues about equity, issues about inclusion, issues about marginalization, minority communities, always come up. So you need to talk about a plan that you have or something feasible that you think is a good solution to issues like this in the future. So what do I mean? You could talk about the fact that you are now looking into how these two tribes or these two languages or this and that. You're trying to even look at commonalities between the languages. You're trying to foster friendship between the people. And then your future plan could be that you are looking at a PTA meeting or a parents teachers association meeting where parents and teachers can sit together and talk about issues like this, how parents can even educate their children from home, how to relate with other people. Now this is a future plan. You have to use wisdom when you're writing something like this. Basically what you want to tell them is, look, I know I will encounter people in my class or in my university who do not speak my language, but you're trying to also show them that, look, I've had this experience, and because of this experience I think I can also do better in the future. Now when you're trying to round off your future plan, do not forget to tie it to the graduate college that you're applying to. And so when you're trying to say you are that this is what the next steps forward, the future plans that you are planning, you can then say something like, and that that in the high school, for example, mine, or you can say that in the graduate school that you're going to encounter this, and that you are actually very willing and open to relate with students from different backgrounds, to join international associations, just so that you can meet these people. And then because you also understand that there is beauty in diversity, and that you are actually very open to learning everything about the other people's culture, just tie it up somehow to your course, to the department, just so that when they're done reading everything that you've done from your own end, they see that you are showing, or you have a place in their department. They understand that this person is actually coming with an open heart and an open mind to welcome all sorts of people and relate with them very well. So I hope this has been helpful to you. When next you hear DEI, think different, think justice, think helping people, stuff like that. Just think about something that is and make sure that whatever you're talking about is very feasible and tangible. Don't create something abstract that even the imagination cannot hold, such thoughts. Let it be something soulful. And that when the readers are reading it, they understand that, yes, this person has actually gone through this. And the person is going to also have the wisdom to live right with other people when they come over. And just so you know, it's actually a very big issue. So you should be very open to that. See you in my next video. Bye.